MarkN MUFC fan actually is mid-afternoon, guys. It's 1:30 in UK time. I'm a few minutes late. I'm sorry about it. I was getting myself ready. And of course, I don't have my laptop, so the streaming is a bit difficult, a bit different. I'm streaming directly from my phone directly to YouTube. So it's hard to even bring up the comments, guys, but big up to all of you if you're joining. What can I say is this? The Man United game yesterday was very interesting. We've seen the idea. We've seen a lot of the ideas of what they've been presenting. And how can I say, it's been positive, to be fair. We've seen some decent performances from some players. Of course, we've seen some mistakes. But all in all, I feel like it's a good situation. Amarim only had like a few training sessions, let's say 2 to 4. And he's already developed this system where he's going to rotate players. He's separated them into 2 squads in order to help them get coached up into his system, trained into the way he wants to play in this 3-4-3 system that, is fluent to possibly a 4-4-2 or a back 4 sometimes in occasion. It's an interesting development, and I can say from the performance last night, we did concede some poor goals, but we saw shape and we saw an idea, and the team fought back. We saw some good performances. I mean, for me, I think, we have been better going down the left. We've been focusing the attacks down the left the most of the game yesterday. And I think we need to mix it up a little bit more. Like in some occasions, I feel like they didn't give early passes to the right winger, whether it was Ahmad or Anthony. I feel like a lot of the moments when it was shifted, the defense was shifting. You could actually see the defense shifting is when they tried to pass the ball there. So you're putting a player in a position where he doesn't have open space to run freely. And maybe Ahmad and Anthony need more early balls so they can run at defenders. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting development. Malacia had a decent display. He started off really shaky in the first half. Of course, attacking-wise, he was getting into good positions. He was getting down the right, getting into good position. But, I still would say this, guys. The fear from his injuries is still ever present in his mental. It's still ever present on his mind. And it's one of those situations where I look at him last night and I saw him struggle in the first 25 minutes, to actually put himself at risk or to physically, meet the demands of the game. And then, he conceded too. He helped. He didn't really, I can't say he conceded, but I can say what his decision-making because of that kind of put him in a situation in the first half where he headed that ball into a bad spot. It caused the first goal. The second time, his control was poor and he lost the ball on the foot race and, it conceded again. But what I would say, guys, we did see him fight back coming to the end of the half. He did fight back. He did start to get physical. He did start to put himself on the line somewhat, so I have to give him some credit. I cannot say, he's not good or something like that. What I would say is give him some time to get himself into that match readiness, that physical readiness, that mental confidence that he would need to put his body at risk in certain situations, and make better decisions. That's what I would say. Big up to Ray Carl Brown. Yes, we did see shape and an idea, says Ray Carl. Irfan is saying, big up, bro. How are you? It's been a while. Bro, I'm having a good time. I had a great game last night. Met up with Ray Carl, you know what I mean, at the Bishop's Blaze. We had a few. It was a fun time. We went to the game. I was late into getting in. I was outside for like about the first 10 minutes of the game because the turnstiles were taking so long to get into the east stand. But we got in. We saw some good performances, a lot of good opportunities to score. Of course, the clinicality is still giving us some issues. Rashford had a couple of opportunities, couldn't put them away. Same with Garnacho, same with other players. But what I would say, guys, it's looking more positive. And we are at the beginning of a brand new era. There's going to be a lot of change at OT. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I'm going to put up some videos later on as well. I'm going to put up some match reactions and some shorts for you guys to hear some reactions from some of the fans that I met at OT yesterday as well. So look out for that. It was interesting. It was really fun. I had a different location last night. Was really high up. I sat in the east stand on the 38th row. And it was a different perspective of the game. You kind of see it from looking downwards. So you're seeing everything that's happening. So I got a good view of everything. I felt like Garnacho was one of our best performers yesterday. Although he kept the ball in sometimes and lost it, and he didn't get all his passes into the box accurately off, I still think he was one of our biggest threats in the game. Ahmad came on in the second half. He had a good a decent showing of himself. Of course, you know, he's adjusting to the right wing back role. So, you know, it's going to take him some time. He's going to be able to be, you know, that present in the attack all the time. But I think with time, all of the players who are changing roles in certain positions are going to get themselves in a good position. They, you know what I mean? They're slowly building. And, you know, for what it's worth, I like the new idea of Amarim to break the team up into two teams. Some train, some play. And I think it would bode well for team confidence. It would also bode well in the development. There was a moment at the game when Anthony passed Amarim and they hugged. And I was like, maybe, you know what I mean? You know, he's getting some confidence back. You know, the manager is showing him something. He's expecting something of him. And you know, maybe he's going to find his way back. Of course, he has a difficult hunt in that. And of course, you know, if he doesn't, you know, do something to really revive himself, he could be seen on the chopping block maybe in the summer or January. But, you know, considering Malacia hadn't played a game since May 23, says Alien Tello, I thought he performed well. I mean, for me, I would say it was all in all a decent performance from him. You know what I mean? Like, when a player has a bad start to the game and you see them recover while in performance, you have to give them credit for that. You know what I mean? And like I said, Malacia has not played. And, you know, he still is going to have some fears and these things. So we have to, you know, support this youngster. You know what I mean? He may not be a star that we've been hearing everyone is talking about on the top of their lips. But I feel like he can do a definite job. I feel like he could evolve into a really competent player for Man United. And it's something I'm looking forward to because, you know what? No matter who we like, no matter which player was performing badly, and no matter which player was performing amazing, you know, if all of these players find it in themselves to give a good account of themselves, United will win. We will do much better and we'll perform better. And that will also bode well for them if we have to move them on, because it will increase their value. We'll have negotiation, you know, a little bit of negotiation control in the situation. You know, we won't be taken for mugs. So it's one of those things where I feel like as fans, we have to support all the players, because whether they have to leave or whether they're going to be staying here, you know, it's going to be one of those things for me where, yeah, we need to get best value all the way around. Best value for Man United. You know what I mean? And that means if a player is not the right fit and we have to move him on, we need to get best value for his sale. But if a player can bring himself to a position where he's going to contribute for Man United, we have to support that as well. It's a new era. It's a new system. It's a new manager. Let's support the thing, guys. Keep the patience up. You know, we're seeing the idea. If it's one thing I can say is we're seeing the idea. You know what I mean? And a lot of us, we haven't seen that in a while. And even though I have backed the last manager and maybe we hadn't seen that identity under him, you know what I mean? He's gone. He is gone. There's no need to talk about him anymore. There's no need to bring him up and compare and contrast, because we keep revisiting the past. We need to move forward. The steps forward are there in front of us, guys. And we need to keep the stepping. You know what I mean? We need to keep moving into the future, because that's the only way that United have a positivity in the future. Keep looking forward, guys, and let's keep it moving. Big up to you, Alex Adu, bro. Hope you're well. I can't bring up the comments today because I'm on my phone. I don't have my laptop with me, but your boy is in Manchester still, and it looks like I'm going to be here for another day. So it's going to be interesting, guys. Let's see how it goes. Big up to Irfan coming in. Our players unfit. LOL. Bruno burnt out now, so it's fitness issues. I mean, I just look at it like it's a different way. Players are expected to play in a different type of way that they've been playing before. So we're going to see some mistakes. You know, of course, some of them might have more responsibilities. They might have more movements in their roles now than they had before. So they might be a little bit leggy in some situations. But what I would say, guys, keep it up. They will adapt. They have to. And if they don't, they will be moved on. We don't need to stress. We don't need to worry. All we need to do is just keep the faith right now. This new manager, he looks like he's doing some bits. You know what I mean? And he's getting the players on board. And that's very important, guys. That's most important. You know what I mean? I think coming back last night from that 2-1 down to winning the game and dominating the game to the end, where we should have at least had 5 goals. I think we should have scored 2. Rashford should have scored. Garnacho should have scored. We should have been winning that game 5-2. But we didn't. And I'm not mad, but what I'm saying is I like what I saw yesterday. There were some mishaps, but there were some good performances. And all in all, they kept it together at the end. You know what I mean? And we're seeing some difference. Mazarawi at the right centre back. I talked about this. You know what I mean? And everyone said he could only play the wing back role. And I'm saying some players who are that wing back, they might be converted into playing right centre back roles. The ticket price rise is disgusting. There's a protest on Sunday and at Anfield as well. Well, that's interesting, bro, because you know what I mean? I kind of saw that they were going to increase prices anyway. I mean, we do want a brand new stadium. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and them did say that they might have to increase ticket prices in order to facilitate that move. So it's one of those things where I'm upset about it. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, the Glazers should be coming up some money. The Glazers should, the Glazers should be coming up some money, and it shouldn't be all on the fans. But guys, right now, yeah, man, if I'm there on Sunday, we'll make the protest. If not, then you know my prayers and my hopes are with all of you protesting because you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Mount should have passed to Anthony. He was standing there on his own. There were many situations like that. I felt like Mason Mount, he did adjust well into the game. I think he had a decent performance. I just think that, you know, there were some instances where he kept the ball too long and he gave away the ball a little bit cheaply in some moments that caused some counterattacks. But, you know, at the same time, I might not rate him, but I do think, you know, maybe he has a place in this team. You know, Anthony, I think yesterday he wasn't used rightly by some of his teammates. You know, he looks to me a player that wants to play a little bit more higher tempo. You know, get an early pass so he could run at the defenders, quick 1-2s and these kind of things. So maybe there might be some changes to who he's partnered with, because as we can see, Diego Dallo has that kind of style. Maybe Diego Dallo might be better served playing at the right centre-back role when we play with Anthony on the right wing. Because to me, and I'm not saying this because I would like to see Anthony do well, but I'm saying to me, when Anthony and Diego Dallo was playing on the same side of the field, they had a very good intricate connection. You know, they linked up well with some 1-2s and they made some different tempo plays. And I think we're missing some of these things. Lots of positives from the game, 100%, Alex Adu. Lots of positives from the game. You know, we saw a good mentality from the team. You know, they fought, they kept themselves in the game. You know, there was a moment where they lost control, but they came back in the second half, got that early equalizer, silenced the away fans, and then they went on to dominate the game for the large period of the second half. Of course, there were some moments at the end where, you know, we could have conceded, but I think that was more likely due to the fact that, yeah, the guys they were a little bit tired in the last 10 minutes of the game, but we should have converted some of the chances we had. We had a wealth of chances in the second half. We should have been up at least 5-2. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to harp on that. I'm not going to blame the guys for that. It's a new coach. It's a new system. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are adjusting to this, and this is why we're seeing some mistakes and stuff like that, because there's new roles and requirements to each and every one of these players, especially the ones who are playing out of position or different roles than they are used to or they prefer to play. So in that sense, I will say, you know what I mean, that, yeah, Irfan, I do think the ticket revenue would help the club with FFP, but at the same time, it's kind of like a bad time, you know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean, to raise ticket prices from £40 to £60, it's a lot. That's a lot, bro. That's a huge increase, you know what I mean? But he did warn it. They did talk about it this summer. They did talk about it before the summer. There was previous talks about, you know, the prices being raised and all these kind of things. So it's one of those things where I'm upset, but they did talk about it, guys. I think a lot of us forget that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. That may be true, but you have to factor in how much it costs fans. 100% Alien. It's expensive. You know, for guys like me, it's already 150 deep. You know what I mean? Just getting to the stadium with a ticket already. So imagine, and that's just for my flight and the ticket. You know what I mean? Imagine if the ticket is more expensive now. It's going to be like maybe closer to 170, 180 for me to get to Old Trafford. And that's not transportation from the airport to where I'm staying, and not transportation from there to the game. You know, not the money that we're going to spend at the game as well. So it might be a little bit more expensive, and I think I think there's something needs to be, done about that. There needs to be some investigation on that. There needs to be some kind of middle ground somewhere. Maybe it might be an increase now. I don't know. I'm just thinking this right now off the fly, that from thinking about it randomly. I'm just thinking that maybe the increase might be for now, but 2 years down the line, when we get that new stadium, the prices might drop again. I can't say for sure, but maybe it might be like that. I could only pose that as a devil in the sense of a devil's advocate. You know what I mean? So what's more important, FFP and getting players in, or personal challenges? Well, bro, this is the difficult part, Irfan. I kind of agree in one sense, but on the other hand, the fans are also the lifeblood of a club. And if fans can't get to games and it's more expensive, you might see more empty seats. That's not really going to bode well. But at the same time, yeah, I kind of feel like it's hand in hand in that kind of way. You know what I mean? It's interesting, the fact of it's a double-edged sword, 100%. You get it right, Irfan. A double-edged sword, 100%. You know what I mean? But, moving on from that particularly, I do hope that we get some kind of confirmation on a brand new stadium soon. Hopefully it stays near Old Trafford. And, it's one of those things. I feel like there's a lot of promise in the coming months, in the coming future of Man United, not just with the team and this new system, but it's going to be a whole lot of new things. And the only thing I could say for now, there's a lot of unknown, but I'm anxious for it in a positive way, to be fair. Irfan, that approach from Ineos will destroy the backbone of the supporters. United will end up a prawn. Yeah, I mean, this is the one thing that at the same time, I do agree that, prices might need to increase, but at the same time, I feel like they need to have a little bit more consideration for the fans. Some of them, we're not millionaires. You know what I mean? And as much as sports and the whole fanfare of things might be an expensive ordeal, I feel like the whole true genre of fans are the fans who've always supported the historical fans, and that's everyone. It doesn't mean only because you're wealthy or well off you could afford to go to games. That should never be something. It should be always open to anyone who can possibly, have the time to possibly make an appearance, because like I said, we are all fans, no matter which walk of life you come from, which part of the world you come from. I mean, hell, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, guys. That's miles away. A little dot in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so Jim Ratcliffe and them, they need to take into consideration that our fan base is multinational, multicultural. There's multifaceted, lots of different backgrounds. And, yeah, they have to try to accommodate that some way and somehow, in some shape. You know what I mean? They can't just do it all on the sake of profit and loss. And while I would like to get new players in, bro, we have academy to help cut costs. Maybe the fans, we should stand up and say promote the youth instead of promoting transfers. I mean, it could be something that we could do. You know what I mean? They could set off a ticket price rise and say 25 discount on food in the stadium. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they could do that. They could do that, Alien. They could do that. That would increase revenue as well. That's an interesting idea that you come up with there, broski. You know what I mean? The new stadium will generate good revenue, and I'm positive they will reduce the ticket cost. Yeah, I mean, I think about that in retrospect as well, Irfan. That's one of the things where that I would kind of look forward and say, well, maybe for now we have to have the pain. It's like Amarim said with the team, we're gonna hurt for a while. We're gonna suffer. You know what I mean? Maybe we're gonna be suffering all around, as Man United fans for a while, for the next 2 years, maybe. You never know. And hopefully that's not the case. But, I thought we were just going to be suffering in terms of, the team having to, just be patient with their development and their progression. There you go. You got it right. Ineos must now look at how to soften the ticket cost. There's a way. You mentioned an interesting option. Definitely, Tenno is a legend, bro. Tenno is one of the old G. You know what I mean? When you talk about match going fans, Alien Tenno is top of my list, broski. You know what I mean? And I feel like when Alien Tenno talks about these things, he's definitely talking from experience and knowledge with a supporter, club behind him. So he knows He has his ear to the ground when it comes to the old OG fans. You know, the fans that have, you know, season tickets. People might think they are you know, they think they're elite or anything, but season ticket holders just love the club. They're committed to Man United. You know what I mean? So power to them, power to all the fans, because we are all committed to Man United in whichever way we are. Because at the end of the day, it's all our club. So yeah, like when, you know, I think there's definitely some room for improvement in this, and maybe they could visit an option like Alien Tenno suggested, and just like that, we're gonna have solutions, because we were all wondering how Amarim is gonna get this squad ready to perform the way in his play style, and he came with a solution. So maybe, you know what I mean. After a few days and of thinking on their decisions, Man United will come up with a solution. You never know. And if Amarim is what he says, which he says he would like to be involved in the whole picture of the club, there will be some contribution from him to say, hey, I know this and that, but we got to remember the facts. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I've heard him said. He said, bro, I don't want to just be a manager. I want to be part of the entity. You know, it's a unison. And everyone must be going forward with the same idea. So have faith, have patience, guys. Good performance last night. What can I say? You know, I enjoyed it. I celebrated the Rasmus goal. And when he scored the second, I was like, Alien Tenno, brother. Whenever you're around, this brother gets his goals. Big up to Royden Frost in the building. Give the ball to Rasmus in the box, and he will score 100%. Yeah, I like Amarim too, Ray Carl Brown. I like him too. I like what I'm seeing. You know, people say Ten Hag was a stubborn manager. I'd like to think Amarim is no different. He is stubborn. He's come here. I'm playing my way. I'm not gonna suit the players. If the players can't suit the way I want to play, then we'll have to work and improve and change things. And this is positive. This is what it always should be. Players aren't to be catered to. Players have to cater to the system. They came into a team, into a club with a style, with an identity, with a winning way, and they have to get up to that level. We don't have to break it down for them. You know what I mean? Rasmus took his goal superb, 100%. That volley was nice. Nice. I mean, we should have scored right before that, because I had my camera on recording, because I saw the moment we initially started the play. And that play, Alien, it bumped around for quite some time. You know, we had a chance where, you know, I think it was Ahmad at first. That was blocked. It came back. Bruno was blocked. It came back. Bruno had a shot. It came back. Dalot was blocked. It came back again. You know what I mean? I think Mazraoui had it. You know, he dumped it off to Mount. Mount was blocked. Mazraoui got it back. And then it was one of those things where it's like Mazraoui just said, you know what? I see you, Rasmus. He held the ball, and instead of just making the play, he dribbled the defender. He caught him in and got himself the space, and he dumped it off to Rasmus, and Rasmus just buried it, man. It was sweet. You understand? It was sweet. 100%, bro. You know what I mean? It was. Yeah, bro. We don't need to be talking about Bodo Glimt like that, bro. But at the same time, what I can think, Bodo Glimt, they had a good showing of themselves. Their fans sung a lot. Their fans chanted the entire game. And after the game, their fans sung for the players for like about 10, 15 minutes, guys. You know what I mean? I'm not lying. You know, when I had to wait to exit. So when I saw them, they were singing the entire time, singing to the players. You know what I mean? They fought hard. You know what I mean? They are possibly going to be champions of their national league this weekend on Sunday, because they play that final game, and if they win, they're going to be champions. But they weren't winners at Man United. They weren't able to take the Old Trafford victory back with them, and they could only take a defeat home. But I would say they gave a good account for themselves. There were one or two players I looked at in their performance, and I'm like, yo, that guy is not too bad at all. You know what I mean? Maybe we could look at something, because those guys aren't going to be the prices that of some of the players we're looking at. But they're young and they're interesting, and they might have that potential. So it's going to be interesting. He's got a good reputation yesterday. Rasmus will be good under Amarim, 100%. You see, it suits him 100%. The way we've been playing, and this is why I'm saying to everyone, why are they mad at Garnacho? Garnacho was trying to supply Rasmus most of the chances that he got in the game, and the few times he went by himself is because Rasmus was not in position to get into open position in the box. So he held it and he tried to wait. You know what I mean? I think I saw a different Garnacho yesterday, and a lot of people didn't notice. I'm not trying to say that anyone is blind or anything, but I just feel like Garnacho yesterday had a whole different feel to him than I've ever seen before. That player that's selfish, that tries to go it all by himself, I don't think that's what I saw from Garnacho yesterday. I'm thinking what I saw from Garnacho yesterday was a player who was trying to deliver and supply the striker in the box, and he was making decisions whether to dump the ball off early, reset the play, or try to hold the play up and drive with the ball until players were in open spaces in the box. And I saw that more from him than I saw him shooting yesterday. And the chances when he got to shoot, I mean, he's on one-on-one in most of those cases on a breakaway. I'm not going to be mad at him. You know what I mean, Alien? And I think a lot of people forget that in Ronaldo's first year and a half, he was quite similar. Of course, Ronaldo might have more dribbling ability, more one-on-one ability than Garnacho, but, yo, he developed into a monster that everyone was criticizing as they call him the step-over flair man. You know what I mean? They made fun of him. So give Garnacho the time. He's just 20 years old, guys. You know what I mean? Give him the time. I think by the end of the season, Garnacho might be our best player this season. And that's just me. And I could be wrong, but that's just the feeling I'm getting, because he's one of the most threatening players in our games consistently against the opposing team. He's marked by two players most of the time. Alex Adu said, I saw that in Garnacho also a few times when he stopped himself from being selfish and looked for his colleagues more. 100%, bro. Garnacho and Dalot are coachable. Both will develop into monster ballers, and that's from Irfan Devro. I think so. Reckless One, he's played over 100 games. How much time do you give him? 300 games? Bro, you can say he's shite, but I disagree. I disagree. Ahmad has played a lot of games. Maybe not for Manchester United, but he's 22, bro. Who has more chance of developing, a 22-year-old or a 20-year-old, bro? I'm not trying to put one down or put the other one up. I think they all have different roles, and I think they all will develop, bro. Ahmad, his development has been really slow. Let's be honest, right? And I still think he will turn into a very good player. But let's not overhype the youngster, bro. Give him time, because he still is not getting enough output added to his good performances to really, you know, seal a starting role. And I think that's one thing he has to add to his game. Maybe he and Garnacho need to train together, because they both have facets that each other needs. Because Garnacho has the output, and Ahmad has a consistent good performance. So I think if they marry themselves in terms of performances, they both will develop. They both will become better players. You know what I mean? They need to add a little bit of each other's game. And we should be promoting the development of these youngsters, whether it's 100 games or not. You know what I mean? I shouldn't think we should be looking at a young player. He's had 100 games. He's had another 100 starts, bro. He's had another 190-minute games, bro. You know what I mean? I think we're being a little bit too harsh on some of these youngsters, bro. We should be more harsh on the players who are 25 years and older. These are the guys who should be more experienced and should be performing more consistently than everyone else. Guys under 23, give them a break. Cut them some slack, man. Cut them some slack, broski. You know what I mean? These players are now being coached and looked at properly. Amarim will sort it out. I agree there, 100% Alien Tenno. So I think we should let the season roll. I think we should have some patience with the season and let it just ride. Because you know what? I think by the end of the season, we will see who's chalk and we will see who's cheese. And the cream will rise to the top. 100%. You can't stop that. I enjoyed Amarim's early sub, whether based on tactics or 11 individual player fitness levels. It was good to see. You know what? I have to admit, I like seeing 5 substitutes a game. 4 or 5, I love these numbers. You know why? Because more players get to rest, more players get to show themselves, and we see some differences. You know what I mean? And I like it. Under 23 players, more than at any club, yet they compete. Brother, Garnacho is our top scorer this season, right? So I don't see it, right? Of course, he has to make better decisions, but experience comes with time. Experience doesn't come because it comes. You know what I mean? And Garnacho already has the output of a player we would expect at 20 years old playing for Man United. He may not be performing amazingly consistently every game, but he has the output to say, hey, I'm there. And that's one thing no one can take away from Garnacho, guys. 100%. Big up to Elite Baller Broski. Yo, bro, I'm in Manchester, bro. What are you up to? Hit me up. If you got some time, let's grab a pint, bro. What are your plans this weekend? You know what I mean? Before I get back to Germany, hit up your boy, Elite Baller. Big up to you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Alien Tenno is coming in. United youngsters are an army of talent coming through. And guys, this is why I said what I said just now. Alien, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? We can definitely ease off on the transfer cap and say what? Let's promote youngsters. Let's have the patience to promote some youngsters. Right? And that could save us a lot of money. A lot of money, guys. We wouldn't spend 300 million in any of these 2 windows upcoming if we just say, you know what, promote the youngsters and we're patient with them to develop. That's an option. That's definitely an option. What are you guys saying? Experience comes from times. He's gotten 100+ games of experience. This is Rashi all over again. We can. So what is your argument for Ahmad, bro? Ahmad has played more games than Garnacho. We paid 40 million euros for him, right? He's been here 4.5 seasons. And he has less goals contributions for United than Garnacho in all of his time. So who you really think is going to develop now, bro? Argue me that reckless one. If I could bring you in, bro, it would be amazing, but I'm not at home, so it's one of those difficult situations, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm off my phone, so it's hard. But answer me that, bro. You keep talking about 100+ games. Ahmad has had more games. It might not have been for United, but realistically, we paid 40 million euros for the brother. He's been here 4.5 seasons. What's his excuse? Why are you so focused on Garnacho, who's been here less time? Supported United since 97, adopted Bodo Glimt as my second team from 2020, so that was an enjoyable game for me. I knew Bodo would cause us problems, but loved Amarim's adaptability. Big up to you, O, coming in with that comment. I would say, bro, I'm not one to say I watch Bodo Glimt a lot, but since my bro has been on trials at clubs in Denmark, he's still there. I've been watching some games in the Danish league because I'm excited to see when he will get his chance to start. You know what I mean? And what I could say is that for the last couple years, maybe even before 2020, Bodo Glimt has been popping up in the Champions League, and they've been having some good performances. Some really interesting players, you know, went from Bodo Glimt to some bigger clubs and made names for themselves. So yeah, it's 100%. 100% elite. Youth is the way forward. And if we want to save money and keep ticket prices cheaper, maybe we shouldn't be spending 300-400 million on transfers. Maybe we bag that in the bank and promote the youngsters and sell some players to add something to the top of that. What do you guys think about that? I mean, this could be an option. Can United fans get behind a young team building for the future without any signings for a season and a half so we can keep ticket prices cheap? I think I could do that. I think I would not mind. You know what I mean? Because I have the patience for it. I don't know about everyone else. These young players will play 200-300 games even before they kick a ball in the first team. Alien Tenno, bro. I was gonna say it, but you know, people would think I'm making shit up. Thankfully, you said it, broski. You know, there's the National League Cup right now in England that the youths play. There's the English League Cup for the youths. There's the English League, the Under-19 League. There's the European League. Yo, these youngsters are playing on average 60 games a season or 70. You know what I mean? I don't know what guys are thinking, but these youngsters are playing a lot of games. You know what I mean? And we are the under 23 treble winners last season. Or was it under 18 treble winners? So, guys, come on. You know what I mean? Mainu, Kone, Obi Martin, 100 could save us millions. 100. Yo, they definitely can. There's Kukonki as well, broski. You know, there's Shea Lacey. There's Dan Gore Jr. You know what I mean? There's Ethan Wheatley as well. There's Gabriel Biancheri. You know what I mean? There's Mathis, Ennis, Jack Kingdon. Guys, there's Ogunnayi. There's Musa. There's lots of young talent. There's Ethan Williams as well, who can play the right wing back role. You know what I mean? There's Samuel Lusalis. Brother, There's lots of young talent coming through. We need to be patient, guys. We need to be patient. You know what I mean? Will, broski, I was looking out for you yesterday at the Bishop's Place to get you a pint, bro. What's good? What's good? City and Newcastle are about to get their owners stripped. Great result last night. Atmosphere was brilliant. I enjoyed being at the game. Will, I was there. I was in the East Stand in the 38th row, bro. I was up to the top. And you know what I mean? It was interesting. It was a nice view. I enjoyed it. The atmosphere was electric. The goals, the celebration for the goals. You know, after the third goals, after the game was about to blow, the fans started singing, "You came and saw United. Now fuck off home. You came and saw United." Man, I wouldn't mind that. Need to be sold for us to prosper in the future. 100%. There's going to be interesting developments to come, guys. There's some teams looking at some of our young players now. Aston Villa is looking at a mass. There's some teams looking at some other players in our youth setup right now. So it could get interesting. Let's see how it goes. I would say, guys, we should be patient. Enjoy the ride. Give Amarim time to get these teams ready. You know what I mean? Because one of those things. Big up, Will. Big up, Will. Our young talent is talenting. Class of 92, it's time for another class. Class of 25, 100%. So, guys, this is what I would say. My entire reaction yesterday is a positive one. I'm seeing the idea. I'm seeing improvement. I'm seeing it from different players coming into the team in different positions as well. I look forward to more of the same. I look forward to more of this because I'm getting the feeling that, you know, with this new rotation system, the players, all of them will have chances to develop in their new roles, maybe in new positions, and get game time. And with it bodes well for youngsters because there's a lot of room. And I think we keep saying we need to buy this player, we need to buy that player. Maybe we could promote a player, promote that player, and maybe it will be good. Yeah, bro, I'm still in Manchester, bro. I'm still in Manny. You know what I mean? Big up to Court Star. What you have going on today, bro? Hit me up. Hit me up on the WhatsApp, broski. Let's beat Ed Sheeran's dad on Sunday. I thought that was Slot's big sister. You know what I mean? Everton is really the original Merseyside team, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Guys, big up to all of you coming in. Yeah, I'm in Manchester. I'm probably here until Saturday. Might be even longer. Guys, if you are wrong, link me up. Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll be back later on. Or you're in London. We'll see how it goes, bro. I'll shoot you on the WhatsApp a little bit later on. Guys, you know what? Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'll be back later on. We're going to be talking about the game, about the look ahead to Everton on Sunday. Match preview. Maybe we'll be revisiting some of what, you know, the comments from the manager's second half of his press conference, which would be related to Everton. Hope you have a great one. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to share it around. Smash the likes. My birthday is Sunday, guys, and I hope you guys could help me hit the 3K mark that I have set for the last couple months. I've been trying to get there, and I need your help to share it around. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure to see you guys here today, and thank you, guys. I know I don't have the regular setup. I'm streaming from my phone, but have a great day. It's been your boy, MarkN, MUFC fan. Love you all. Big up the Reds. Up the Reds. You came and saw United. Now, you know what the rest means. Big up to you guys. Have a great day. It's been your boy. Peace out.